Hi, I'm Norm Campo with Performance Metal Shaping. Welcome to our first video on our beading machine. This one here is manufactured by Mittler brothers. This is a little older machine. This machine's been around for a couple years. I've had this one for about 5 years. The difference between this machine and the newer style Mittler brothers machine, especially on a 24-inch, is that the new machines are manufactured using billet aluminum. This one here is made out of steel. The billet machine is actually a stronger design, actually looks sort of neat, and basically functions the same. This is the standard motor on it. They also make one with an industrial motor. This machine also, of its design, is built like a truss. Being built like a truss actually gives you more stability. It's not going to move and it's not going to flex this way. It's not going to move and it's not going to flex this way. So when your two rollers are going this way, it's not going to flex on you. First thing we're going to show you is we're going to take a regular piece of metal and we're going to use a little step bead here. And this little piece of metal you'll see a lot of times on custom cars, on firewalls where they'll do a bow tie emblem, where they do flames or something like that. Or they'll do some designs just to accent the car, or even to make some strengthening in the firewall. I'm just going to do a little design on this thing using this machine. I'll have the cameraman come over here a little bit closer and we'll show you what we got. We're going to take this machine and we're going to take this step roll and we're going to bear down on it. Now, word to the wise, watch your fingers, that when you run through this thing doesn't know the difference between metal and your fingers and will cause some damage. This machine is also variable speed. I've seen guys do American flags. I've seen guys do all sorts of different designs. Now let me just wash this off and you'll be able to see. Now if you look at this panel, it has a nice raised edge on it. I've seen where you can actually keep stacking these up. You can keep stacking them up. I've seen guys crisscross flames. I've seen a lot of different tricks with it. They look pretty neat. It can give you a nice effect on your panel. The next thing you can do with this is, on this machine, especially for the race car people or people that want to set body panels with a lip, you can take it and run it through this also, and by running through this through the outside edge, now you have a nice flush fit where once you weld it in or you glue it in, you're not going to have to do a lot of grinding. Real common, you'll see this in race car applications, you'll see it in aircraft applications. This is how it's done. All we're doing is we're running it through just on the outside edge and we're making that step. The last thing that this die is good for, I come across this often. This is sort of an exaggerated panel. In the bottom of a car door, especially on your older cars, a lot of times we have a straight edge that comes down and steps down. And then we have an edge that steps down along the side of the door that follows the contour of the door. This you can bend and break. This is a little tough to do. In actuality, it sits in the bottom of the door this way. And Mittler Brothers manufactures these with different depth steps. I've got some that are deeper than this, that actually when we're done, actually becomes the bottom of the car door, and then we put our skin along the outside edge. This is a very, very handy tool for that. I'm going to show you a couple other little things that can be done. The next one is with these two beads right here. The first bead here to my right is your standard bead that you have when you're beading a floor, wheel well arches in a car. And basically it consists of these two dies right here. The one on the right, which is this die right here, which is a round die, and a receiver die. And they work together, and it does that. The one to my left right here is a square-sided die. Used around like an edge of a fender, in a floor rib. And what that has is that this uses these two dies right here, where you have a square piece and you have a bottom piece. Now the neat thing that Mittler Brothers has on one of these dies, and this is it right here, is that the die has a stop right here on this side, so I can use it on the edge of a fender and basically put a bead along the edge of a fender. Now we did this on a flat piece. One of the things that you're going to find when you do this, see how this panel right now is starting to crown this way. Every time you do one of these, it's going to crown the panel a little bit. You have to work it back a little bit to keep your floor pan straight. One trick I do, in a lot of areas where it's not critical, I'll do one way, one the other way. Now, if you want to get it to curve in this direction, like if you're doing a wheel well arch, all you do is when you run the bead through, pull down on your metal. As you pull down on your metal, as it goes through, you can actually make the arch, and it actually holds the shape of the arch. Very, very handy tool, very, very common use. Mittler Brothers also has a nice little back gauge that fits in here, and you can run your piece all the way through, and this thing will give you a nice straight edge to work with. This is a very, very handy tool. The last one I'm going to show you is I'm going to show you what you would find in a motorcycle fender and a tank radius. This piece here is basically represented on one side of what you would do, say, building a bobber motorcycle fender, hot rod fender, or something where you're coming into a radius and you want to make a turn. I use this often for this. In the middle here we added just a little bit of crown with the English wheel, and that gave us our little bit of a ridge. I could add more, I could add less. On the outside edge here, on this side right here, what I did is I went to the shrinker and I started shrinking this down, and this started to pull my side down a little bit. And by pulling the side down is giving me the shape and the arch that I want in the metal, okay, but it'll only pull it down so much. The next step that I did is I went to this die, hopefully this stays, right here. And we put this die in the machine, and the die works this way, okay? When we ran the metal through, this took this metal and it actually started to curve the metal down, okay? In actuality, I have it backwards. It should be this way. Actually started curving the metal down. And this is going to be done in more than one pass. You're going to have to do 3 or 4 passes. This is a tank roll, a Mittler Brothers tank roll. It's going to take 3 or 4 passes, and you can bring it over, and you can bring it over, and you can bring it over. You can actually walk it in a little bit if you want to have more roll to it. Now, the nice thing with Mittler Brothers also is that they can custom make any die to any shape that you want. I've had customers that have wanted certain things cut certain ways for certain applications. They can do that for you. The last thing is, this is a US made piece of machinery. It's done by a reputable manufacturer. We know the quality of all the parts that are in here. That's the other advantage of this. Now, Mittler Brothers also makes this machine in a 36-inch machine, and they also have an industrial application with the motor, a much larger motor. Of course, it's at a different price for heavier gauge type stuff. As I thank you for watching our video. My name is Norm Campo. I'm with Performance Metal Shaping. Thank you very much, and we hope you enjoyed our video.